Have you ever watched these successful women that maybe in your office, maybe in your college, maybe someone that you have admired from far away and wondered how does this woman actually think? Like what's going through her mind when she's setting her prices, when someone tells her no, when she's making decisions that would terrify you. Because here's what I have figured out. It's not that she has some special gene or secret advantages. It's just that she literally has some different thoughts running in her mind that you don't do. And once you understand what those thoughts are, you can start thinking them too, and you can become the women that you have always wanted to be. Okay, so you know me that I am a marketeer who loves to deep dive into human psychology about what we do, why we do, and how we do it. And on that subject, let me tell you about the story of this surgeon, which completely blew my mind. So, I was reading this book, Psycho Cybernetics, written by Dr. Maxwell, who was by profession a plastic surgeon back in the 1960s. He was successfully practicing his profession, he was changing people's looks, and somehow he was changing their lives too. But while he was at it, he started noticing something very weird. He'd give someone the face of their dreams, but that person would still be unhappy. They would come back to him 6 months later, convinced that they still look ugly. Meanwhile, he also had some patients who probably looked exactly the same, just with some minor differences, but they all of a sudden felt so much more beautiful after the surgery. And then he would sit back and wonder, why is this happening? Why are people giving so many different reactions to more or less same procedure? He had desperate patients who would come to him and who would ask him to fix their noses or fix the scar on their cheek. And Dr. Maxwell would think in his head that, but you're stunning. On the contrary, however, he had a veteran who has served army as a soldier and he had exact same mark on his cheek. And when Dr. Maxwell wanted to fix that scar on his cheek, he approached this guy and said, hey, I know that you've got this scar on your cheek and it is not by birth, so let me fix that for you. The soldier got offended and said, are you kidding? This is the scar that represents everything that I'm proud of. Now that's when it hit Dr. Maxwell that it is not exactly about the faces or the scars that we hold. It is actually about the stories that we tell ourselves. When one person will look in the mirror with the same exact scar thinking that they are broken in some way or another, the other person might be looking in the same exact mirror thinking that they are a warrior. And after reading this story and this chapter in the book Psycho Cybernetics, which I highly recommend, this concept of self image has not left my mind. And that is what led me down the path of thinking that how do actually successful women think about themselves? What is their own self image? And honestly, the more I researched about it, the more mind blown I was. So I started paying attention to the women I admired, entrepreneurs, leaders, friends who just seem to have their shit together. And I noticed these patterns. Whenever these women get rejected, they don't go down the spiral of what's wrong with me. They literally think that what is the next opportunity for me? Whenever they see someone else succeeding, they never think to themselves that they can do it, but I can't. Instead, they think if she can do it, so can I. They are not jealous, they're inspired. I also remember I was in this business circle with all the successful women you can think of. And it was incredible opportunity to be there. And when I was sat there, I saw this one woman walk up to the stage and pitch her business idea. And then in that room, she got completely shut out. There was no response to how she presented and what she presented. Now, in that scenario, most of your brain would have gone to the route that I'm not cut for this, I can't do this, why did I even go up to the stage to pitch my business idea? But that woman, she walked out of the room full of confidence, and I overheard her saying it to her team that maybe they weren't my investors, so let's go and find the right ones. And that's when I realized that maybe that's not just our limiting beliefs which are holding ourselves back. It is actually our entire operating system in our head that is keeping us small. Think about it. That's most of us. We look at our mistakes and think of it as failures instead of opportunities of learning. We look at our careers and we label it as being stuck instead of saying that we are building something. We look at our relationships as not enough instead of feeling that we are growing with the other person. And I also realized that I was doing the exact same thing with my business as well. For most of the time, I just called myself as a freelancer because that word felt safe, comfortable, and no pressure. But that identity of being a freelancer was actually keeping me small. It was helping me to play safe and it was avoiding me to take the right risks that a businesswoman would do. But then I flipped the switch and I actually started calling myself as an entrepreneur. That's exactly when I started scaling my team, working with high ticket clients, and growing in my personal relationships as well. Now, just like every other video, this video has also got the solutions for you with exact action steps that you should take today to become and act like the women you want to be. So grab a notebook and a pen and let's get into it. But before that, just ingrain it in your mind that the difference between you and the women you want to become is literally the thoughts which are running in your mind right now. That's where it just gets really more interesting. After diving deep into the research, I realized that changing how you think is not just about willpower. There are actually four different forces which are shaping your self image right now. And once you understand them, you can change them and you can use them to your advantage. I like to call this as four lens of self-image framework, and it has literally changed everything for me, and I bet it will change everything for you too. So, lens number one is the neuroscience lens, rewiring your mental hardware. Every single time you're thinking about a thought, you are literally strengthening the neural pathways in your brain. When you think that I'm not good at art repeatedly in your head, you're building a super highway for that thought to travel. And a human brain loves efficiency. So every time it will default to its strongest pathways. But here's the most beautiful part about human brain. You can always build new highways. And the woman you want to become, she is traveling on a completely different pathway. Whenever she faces a challenge, her brain automatically thinks, how can I resolve this? Instead of saying, oh my god, why does all the challenges fall onto me? Or maybe that I'm not meant to do this. No, she does not think that. So, your action plan is start with daily identity statements paired with micro actions. Don't just say, I am confident while you are laying around in your bed. Say it while you are getting ready in the mirror, while you're dressing up, while you're walking into that meeting room, or while you are hitting publish on your next YouTube video. This combination of the right thought with the right action is what literally rewires your brain to support this new identity. Lens number two, the sociology lens, changing your social mirrors. Okay, this one's huge. Sociologists have been proving this over and over, time and time again, that we become what we are labeled as by ourselves or by others. If everyone around you calls you the responsible one, you become responsible. If everyone around you calls you lazy, you become lazy. If everyone around you calls you creative, your brain starts thinking about creative ideas. So, the woman you want to become, she is either surrounded by people who see her potential and are always uplifting her, or she has gotten really good at not letting other people's vision define her reality. She's so thick skinned that she does not care what other people think or say about her because she knows who she is and she acts on it. So, your action step is to look at your closest relationships and ask who are the people who are reinforcing your limiting beliefs about you and who are the people who are actually celebrating your growth. I would say cut the people off if they are limiting you or they're trying to put you in a box. But if you can't do that, then learn how to set some fucking boundaries. Lens number three, the spiritual lens, the freedom beyond all labels. Now, this might sound a little counterintuitive after everything that I have just said, but hear me out. Ancient spiritual tradition teaches us that the ultimate freedom comes from realizing that you are not any label at all. The woman you want to become understands that while identity is a powerful tool, she is not really attached to it. She can be the CEO without her worth depending on the title. She can fail at something without meaning that she is a failure. This lens gives you the permission to experiment with your identity without the pressure of getting it all right. The truth is, you are not locked into any box. So, the action step is to practice the meditation mantra Neti Neti. Not this, not that. It is to remind you that while you can use your identity as a tool, you are infinitely more than any role or any label. This actually makes it easier to step into powerful identities because you are not desperately clinging to the old ones. Then, lens number four, the performance psychology lens, identity as your secret weapon. Here's what elite athletes have figured out, which most of us haven't. The strongest performers don't just train their skills, they anchor everything in who they are. For example, a marathon runner does not think that I should probably go for a run today. No, they think I am a runner, running is what I do. It becomes a non negotiable part of their identity. The women you want to become also thinks in the same way. She does not think that, oh my god, I have to network with people today. No, she thinks that I am a leader. Networking and meeting with new people is what I'm naturally good at. So, your action step is that all the things that you are thinking about as a goal, you have to recast it as identity statements. Instead of saying that I want to build a business, you need to say that I am already an entrepreneur who is building her empire. And then watch how subconsciously your brain starts taking steps towards it. Instead of just saying that I want to be more confident, you have to act and walk and talk like that. So, if I have to bring all the four lenses together, here's how it works. The neuroscience lens revise your brain, the sociology lens changes your environment, the spiritual lens gives you the freedom to experiment, and the performance psychology lens makes new behaviors automatic. And trust me, the woman you want to become isn't just using one of them, she's leveraging all four. And the beautiful thing is, you can start with it today. Pick one lens and then start following through the action steps. See, here's what I have learned after studying this subject from every angle. The woman you want to become is not some far fetched idea. She is not a mystical creature. She is someone who understands that your self image isn't fixed, it's not permanent, and it is definitely not something that is determined by your past. She has learned to work with her brain instead of using her own brain against her. And the research is clear, my friends, that your self image is literally shaping your reality every single day. But the real question is, are you going to let it happen unconsciously? Or are you going to take control of it and change your life intentionally? Because I promise you that the woman you want to become is already inside of you. She's just waiting for you to start thinking her thoughts, believing her beliefs, and start taking actions. So, tell me, what is the first lens that you're going to work with? And if you have watched this video this far, like, subscribe so that you can come back to this channel, and I'll see you next week.